Okay, well, we're back on the podcast, Dance Dad with John Corella. And I know you dance moms and dance dads. It's mostly dance moms, but there's some hardcore dance dads. I'm sure you've met them. But I have Lisa Lindholm on, and she is the owner and agent of Go-To Talent Agency, which I know you dance moms have heard of, and you've seen it, and you all want your kid to have an agent. And you're going to pull out your notebook or phone and take some really good notes to hear some good information. Because sometimes moms, you can get in the way of your kid getting an agent. So you're going to hear from the person of some good things you can do. So please welcome to the stage, Lisa Lindholm.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone.
Do you have... I know you have a kids department. Do you have a lot of kids that dance?
So to be honest with you, we don't really separate our kids from our adults. So yes, the youngest I normally take is 8. And then it goes up all the way until 80. And sad to say, my oldest client just passed away, which I'm devastated about.
Oh, were you able to say who that was?
His name was Skip Cunningham. And he was an amazing tap dancer and hoofer back in like the variety show days of like Gregory Hines and, Henry Latang and like the Nicholas brothers. Like he danced with all of them, all the greats. And he was still a client of ours. And his wife just recently posted that he passed. And I didn't even know that he was, ill or anything was going on. But, he was well into his 80s, but still working, which was amazing.
I love that. I had Cheryl Baxter on a few months ago, and she's talked about, and we're going to talk about too, moms and dads. Some of you are a lot of former dancers. So how it's evolved and changed, how different it is now. But I had Cheryl on, and she was saying how she had to evolve to keep her career going. And I mean, she's from Xanadu and Greece too.
She's still working, which is awesome. I love it. It's like,
no, I love that. So I do these 4 questions that are a little bit different for us people who dance, but it's good to get us in our body. It's how are you feeling? Where do you feel it? What color is it? And what is it saying? And I'll do it with you too. So how am I feeling? I'm feeling happy. How are you feeling?
Overwhelmed.
I was feeling overwhelmed at 4 a.m. So I feel you. And
it's been an interesting time, like recently with some of our jobs. So, I'm taking.
Where do you feel that overwhelm in your body?
Everywhere, to be honest with you. Like I really take it on. I am very much that person that, even though the job isn't for me, I take on the stress of my clients myself. And I, just never feel like it's enough, or like I have a real problem with that like I'm trying to do better at, of not, feeling that way, because when things don't go the way that we, or, opportunities don't present themselves in the way that we wanted them to work out, a hard time not taking that on the shoulder. Like I really do take it to heart. Like it's not something that I'm just like, oh, well, whatever,
Which is what I love about you, because I've known you for a long time. I know you from back in the Edge. Yes. So I love that. And I think that that's good that you do. I think that's what makes someone a good agent, a good producer, a good dancer, a good anything. But maybe it sounds as though you need to give some of it back to other people, not carry it all on yourself. There's percentages.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Well, if I'm happy, I feel it in my wrist. I don't know why. Maybe I'm doing some. What choreographer used to do that? Wayne Salento. Maybe
right. Yeah.
That's why I'm feeling it in my wrist. And it is a baby blue. And what color would your overwhelm be?
Probably like a hot pink, like something like, that's strong. Like it overwhelms me for sure. But I I'm going to work on this. It's something that I have to, try to delegate even with my team,
Good. Yeah. And if mine had my color, I think I said my color. And if it had a voice, it would say to just, celebrate you, all of you, because later on we're going to talk a little bit about your dance background, which is always fun. But we're going to give some good information to the moms and dads right now, as far as, so you talked about how you do represent from 8 years old to 80, and I guess what would make you want to take on a kid as their agent?
So for me, one, it's knowing the kid really wants to do this and is okay and has the mindset to understand what this process is like. Because it can be challenging, rejection is hard, and how we take that as a child. I am not a parent and I don't have kids, but I would assume that, even for my niece and nephew, when they got agents when they were kids, I was really concerned because I didn't know how they would respond to rejection if it happened. So for me, knowing the kid really wants to do it, is passionate about it, and can just let it roll off, and we keep moving on, and we're going to find the right things. The other thing is, there's a greater percentage from let's say 8 to 13 that they're going to work because of their growth or their looks, or, they're just youthful still at that point. Once they start to grow and change and mature, it might slow down. And I'm always really honest with that, with parents of you have to understand that hitting the teenage years might mean there's hardly anything, because they're going to hire, production is going to do what's best for them financially. And they will hire someone that's an adult to play a child all the time if they can. So it's just understanding it's not anything that they're doing right or wrong. And at that point, I always tell the kids, that's where you refocus your training again.
Yeah. Train. You're not done training.
Get ready to be 18, and then you take it again. My kids that are 8 to 13, I want them to be a kid. And the one thing that is really important, I think, for parents to hear is that don't let them grow up. Dance already matures. Our children are ready. There's a maturity, I think, that already comes inherently with it. So with movement and our bodies and being comfortable and things like that. But I just think that in our business, if you want to explore the business, you still have to be a kid. I've been told a million times over by casting directors that said they came in with the wrong wardrobe. They look too mature or too sexy. They need to act like a kid. So whatever that means, that they speak too maturely because they're surrounded by adults and are doing movement that is more mature to their body. So it's just, in the industry, if you're going to work, the ones I find that really work are the ones that and are just a kid, and having fun. And it is what it is. And if something works out, great. And really, for me, all the minors that I represent, it's not about you working. If you work, fantastic. I'm thrilled. Yay, we all made money. Fantastic. You gained experience. Really, for me, it's about the experience. For you to see if this is something you want long term, and to get your feet wet and to dip your toes in, and let's just see, where it's going to lead us. So,
and to see, it sounds as though too, maybe as an agent that you might be looking at long term, rather than, they're not peaking at 10 years old.
Exactly.
In their dancing, but to see, I guess that could probably feel fun to see a client of yours start young and then work on
No, I
as
mean,
an adult?
I have a client who started with me when he was 10, and he's now in his 20s, and he's touring with a bunch of artists and working nonstop. And it's so cool to see what we've experienced together from when he started when he was 10 and my growth even with his parents, and now he's an adult, and obviously his parents don't have to be involved, but I involve them just because I love them. And like, they're like family, like now, like we have a relationship. So,
Do you feel that, well, first of all, did you grow up competing in dance?
Yes.
You did. So what were some of your competitions, and what did you grow up doing?
Doing the convention and competition world, the Dupreys, the Tremaines, all of those. And did, won scholarships. And then that's what brought me to LA was I won scholarships. And that's when the studio still existed for both of those conventions that I won scholarships. So I would come every summer and take class in the summer. And it kind of paved my way of what I was working towards by the time I was 18. And by the time I was 18, I knew I was going to move to LA and do it. And I did. I moved a month after I graduated high school. So.
What do you love about dance?
Oh, there's so much. And it's so funny because now people always ask me, now do I miss it? Like that I'm not dancing. I miss class. That's probably the one thing I miss, like that release, I miss that part, but it would be weird for me to take class with my clients. So that's kind of a hard thing to figure out.
You could take, I wouldn't feel weird taking with you, we can go take, I love Terry Best's class. I love anything where I can feel and I don't have to, kick my leg too high or anything.
I just feel like my clients would be like, oh, there's my agent in my class with me. Like,
yeah. Maybe like at the playground, Lisa, I definitely,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really see you at the playground with your phone out.
No.
Although I did see, I know, who was it? I saw somebody do that recently. It might've been Frank Gatson. Like last year, he went and took a class at the playground, and he was saying how it was intimidating, because people do know who you are, but he loves dance like you love dance. What were some of the classes back in the day that just you loved taking?
I was, I was an Edge scholarship kid. So I took a lot of, classes at the Edge. I love, like you mentioned, Terry Best, adore her. Love Cinder Che. Loved Rhonda Miller. She was a big mentor of mine. She was really, honestly, one of the people that when I started coming in the summers on scholarships that really helped guide my parents to let me move to LA. So was very influential with me. One of my agents that is my education teaching agent, Carol Connors, is legendary.
Oh my gosh.
And she now works for our company, which is crazy, doing education and teaching stuff, which is crazy to me because I'm like, I think back to my 12-year-old self and I'm like, how did that happen? Like,
you're probably, well, yeah, even you saying it right now. Carol Connors, I remember taking with her. Whatever they changed after Dupre. I think like her and Randy and Keith Clifton did a convention. So I forget the name of it. Yes.
Oh, no, not LADM.
LA Dance Force.
LA Dance Force. That's what it was.
And she was, I remember, these are people that, and I still feel this way a little bit. I don't know if you do. Maybe you do. Obviously we are, we've grown and we know our worth in what we do, but there's still that little 12-year-old boy, that hears Carol Connors.
Oh no, I think of like all the people I met at Dupre, like, when it was on 3rd Street and Hollywood, and, I met Liz Imperio there. Like, she became a mentor and a friend of mine, many dancer friends. It's crazy to see like how it comes full circle. And our community really is that. We are really lucky, like in our dance world, that we're different than other parts of the industry. We are a community and we really do come together when we need to.
It's funny that you say that, because that I mean, this could be probably because of the way that you are and maybe your position, but after doing Dance Moms, I never really felt it was super collaborative. Maybe because I was coming from dancing and competing, you're always competing against the guy next to you. So there was not this, it didn't feel very collaborative. Do you feel that the dance community is collaborative in the sense of we're all going to work together and help each other?
I do feel that. I do feel like more people are open to that and not feeling like everybody's a threat or they're competing or, oh, that's, my competition. I've got to make sure I get this over them. I feel like people are genuinely happy for each other when they get these. And I love that. I love when I can see that. And even to be honest with you, at some of the conventions and competitions recently that I've been at, I do see that more, like even backstage, like, whether it's studio to studio, that people are like, good luck, or like, like you did great. Or I love that because I'm like, it doesn't have to be this. You know what I mean?
And tell the listeners what convention you are attached to.
I'm attached to them all, to be honest with you, as an agent. I go to all of them.
Well, that one, but as far as even, doesn't Terry work for Tremaine?
Well, Terry runs Tremaine now. So my husband and partner in the agency also runs Tremaine conventions. So we have that as well on top of the agency, which is wild and crazy.
It is, but I feel it. Do you feel that gives you an extra something different when, you are working with your clients, your younger clients? Because you are around them, obviously, when you go to conventions.
Yes and no. I mean, I love that I get to see the next generation and their growth and their process. But I also want them to be kids and I want them to take their time. I don't want them to be like, oh, well, the agency is involved as well because of the convention and everybody's looking towards that because maybe that's not right for everybody just yet. I think it's really individual. I like getting to see these younger dancers and seeing how that business is evolving. I don't get to go out too much because obviously I'm running the agency and he's out there running the convention. But that dance world, talent is just growing by the years. I am
getting
like,
better and better. The amount of turns
dancers can do. I'm like, oh my gosh! Like I am blown away every year, like by the talent. And it's exciting, and it's exciting to be able to, if somebody does want to go on that journey or take the next steps in their career, to be able to help them and guide them.
How different is competition dance from commercial dance, the auditions you're going to send them on?
Completely different. Commercial dance is, you have to understand the roles you're playing. You have to understand what you need to bring to the table for each audition that you're going in for, whether it be a self-tape or, a Zoom audition, or you are in person. But you have to really understand what the job is requiring. And I think that's really a skill that not everybody right away adapts to. They think they have to bring out all their tricks, and it's not always about that. Like dancing in a commercial isn't always about all your tricks. It's about selling a product. It's about being engaging. It's about enticing the audience and going, oh, I could do that. Oh, that feels fun. That could be me. Like you have to find that balance. And I think that's where a lot of dancers don't always know, like not every job is going to require all your skills.
And, dance competition, I feel, teaches you to be fierce and superior and over the top, where commercial dances, the audience wants to identify with you, not idolize you. correct? Do you feel that in commercial dance?
Exactly. And exactly like, even on Broadway, like it's like you're entertaining the audience. They want to feel like they're engaged with you. Like it's a different thing than, I agree with you 100%. Competition dance teaches you to pull out all the tricks. And I just don't always know that that's always necessary. Sometimes, maybe.
Yeah. And when you're older, I got a lot of jobs from my tricks. Marguerite loved my tricks. You know what I mean? There's certain choreographers who really love tricks.
And then you also have to be smart with when you decide you don't want to do those tricks anymore to then tell people that you can do them. If you do say you can do them, then you're going to be asked to do
them. So what could be, because I love dance competitions and, the people listening have their kids in dance competitions and will still be in them. What are ways that they can help their kid who wants to do it more with that commercial dance? Is there classes? What can they do? Take acting?
The experience. I think it's, again, walking off that stage and going, you know what, I got another opportunity to perform and engage and to maybe entertain this audience and whatever it is. And, and I'm sure everybody hears this, but like those trophies aren't important. Your mom and dads are going to be like, my mom and dads have them too. She's like, they're creating dust and I'm getting rid of them. Like they're in my house, like gotta go.
I have one right there behind me. It's collecting dust. So what are 3 things that are important when they walk? Well, first of all, how can someone audition for you, for the agency that has a mom that has a 10-year-old girl that thinks and her kid wants to do it? How do they go about in auditioning?
So we have on our website, we have a submission policy so that you can submit that way through email. And it would be sending like a dance reel, short, not long, resume, some pictures so that we get to know you. I love a good cover letter or referral letter. That's always a win-win for me.
Oh, a referral letter. Remind me what exactly is a referral letter from somebody? Like I could give someone a referral letter?
That's reputable in the business that says, hey, Lisa, I think this kid would be great. And I think you guys would click or the family would click with you. And then from there, we would set up a meeting. And from there, we would decide if we felt like we were a right fit to work with one another. So
do you have them audition in person? Do you have after you see everything?
Since the pandemic, nobody does in-person auditions.
What? I wish I was born now because I would get so nervous. And, I remember my first, did I audition for KSA? I don't remember. But
for Julie.
It was actually Victoria Morris. Okay. But she actually came to the studio in Arizona and watched us. But anyway, so you're saying now it's really about the headshot and the cover letter and or referral.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, moms? Reel, headshot, cover letter. Can you tell if a cover letter is written by AI?
Not yet, but I'm getting good at it.
I have been using...
I am getting better at it. Like, I'm like, oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, right. Because obviously I love Claude in the sense AI of it's like a extra added information, and we're all learning how to do it. But I was using it and realized, if I don't look at it as something that it's coming from me, not AI, it's going to be inauthentic. And so I kind of realize now to do my part first, me write the cover letter first, and then maybe have it come in and not the other way around. That's my opinion. When it's flipped the other way, it doesn't feel authentic.
Agreed.
So in a reel, what are some things you're looking for from this 10-year-old girl?
So I would want to see the dancer at their core, at their very best, whatever that is, whether it's jazz, whether it's tap, whether it's hip hop, whether it's contemporary, ballet. I want to see you at your core. yes, we're told repeatedly to be diverse and versatile. And yes, you need to do that to expand upon more opportunities. But for me to get to know you, I want to know you like at the 80% that right away I could maybe get you working.
So I remember when I took acting class from this woman, she would say walk in with your inner circle, like what you're really good at. And then you work from there. So you're saying the core of and I love that you said contemporary, because I kind of felt that, I haven't said this, but I always thought kids shouldn't show contemporary, but you're saying if someone's good at it, show that even if they're 10.
Thing, like I want to know who you are as a dancer so I can identify and go, okay, here's where I can see you working in the business. And
is a solo okay to show you? A solo, or would you want them in a dance room, or doesn't matter?
I would want to see a solo in a studio.
Getting that? You're hearing that?
I would not want to. I don't like the I'm in a group number and I'm in the far back left corner in the red and everybody's in red and I can't find you.
Yes.
I don't like that. And the other problem is if you do like a classroom video and there's multiple people in the class, what if I fall in love with somebody else in the class other than you?
I've learned that hard lesson before. Believe me.
You need to like, I want it to be focused on you so that my attention is totally 100%.
So it could be a solo of just them at Tremaine.
Yep.
Okay. And or them by themselves at the Six, I don't know, okay. And their best thing. So what do you look for? What do you look for? How do I say this? Because looking is very different than feeling. Because I know how it is now when somebody makes you feel something, you don't really know what it is, but you're like, oh, I'm going to call this person in. So in a headshot, what gives you that feeling to call them in normally?
It's usually honestly, like it's the combination of their materials that I'm going to look at that I will go, okay, I get a vibe from the picture. I see what their resume is in their training. I see what their reel is showing me. Let's talk and see where we can go further. And then usually from that meeting, I have a better sense of if it feels right,
Okay. So then
they would feel that as well. I want them to feel like they can interview us too. It's not just a one-sided street. So
Lisa, I mean, you're singing. I mean, I love that about you. I don't know if it was like that. You were like that, but I don't know in the past when I went into agencies, it was like that I can interview them too. But so then what are you looking for in a headshot? Can they have a bun? Do you want their hair down? No makeup? Can it be done at a picture against a white wall?
For kids now, I want them to look like a kid. I don't want them to look like they're 25.
No lashes?
No lashes, no makeup, no, none of that. We need to be our age.
Okay.
And what casting directors now tell us, even with adults, is they want lifestyle photos. My takeaway from that with lifestyle photos is that it's who you are, like what you bring to the table, who you are as a person, your vibe, your style, the way you dress, like you carry yourself. Like they just want to kind of know who you are. They can make you up to be something else, but let's see who you're coming in as. And
I love that.
Yeah, it's definitely changed. It's something that's changed during the pandemic. And it's been really something we've been really active with our clients, whether adults, kids, to figure out what's going to work the best for the clients.
Why do you feel it's changed for them to know who you are?
I think, look, you and I, not to date us, but like back in the day, I mean, I started out with black and white photos, I think there were things that you could mask, I think people want to see real people now, people know that, on Instagram and through what they post that you can filter and you can make people look different. And I think people are more about like, but I want real. I want authenticity.
You know, I mean, I love that. That makes me feel good because I don't think there was a lot of encouragement when I started dancing to do that. I mean, I do have my headshot up there when I was 5. So it is black and white in color. You know, so that it was more I think it was more modeling when I started in dance. Yeah. Like, we want you to look sexy and be this idol, where, I mean, I kind of grew into that. I didn't really like that, to be honest, from the beginning. I just felt I had to get the job for Jamie King, you know, where this who you are feels so much better. So that's exciting for those kids, and sounds like adults too. I just think we have to, on the dance side, those dance teachers and anyone in the dance competition world, I don't feel we're really doing that. So there might be a gap where we're keeping
something
you.
That we've been talking about more, and I'm sure the other conventions and competitions are as well, but it is something that we've made a definite effort, like Terry and I, like on Tremaine, to explain that to parents. He has a parent forum and a teacher forum that he does every weekend, and to really like articulate that, because I do think that's really important for the parents to know, you know.
So back to the parents, because there are parents involved. In a percentage, you know, obviously we want parents there to protect them, to advocate for them, to be there for them, comfort them when they get rejected. And we want the kid to do the dancing and want to do it and carry the passion and the love. What percentage do you feel a parent should be involved in their 10-year-old kid's career?
I don't know if I can put an exact number on it. I think it's a family and an individual thing, but I think that you can't want this more than your child wants it. And you have to know that it's a positive outcome for them, no matter what the situation is. You know, whether they win scholarships, whether they don't, whether, you know, look, I was like a hungry little girl. Like, I was like,
you wanted to do it. Yeah.
I'm going to do this. I was the driving force. It was definitely not my parents. Did my parents support me? 100%. They were back behind me all the way through. And even my dad, you know, when I moved to LA, my dad was like, okay, we're going to let her do this. And I moved when I was 18. And he said to me, you know, I gave you 6 months and I thought you'd move home, because all my family lives in Michigan still. And I come from a big Italian family, and I've lived here my entire life. So I clearly was driven by myself. Like, and I was going to show them that this is how bad I wanted this, and I would do whatever it takes to get what I wanted out of it. So I think that's the important thing, is to know that, again, you can be supportive to your child, but let them again drive it.
Has you ever not taken a kid on because of their parent being overly aggressive? She's nodding her head, everybody. And that's the honest, we have to say, I wanted to ask that because
go because we had a relationship that wasn't working. Yeah, 100%. Where the parent was a problem on sets, with casting directors, with other parents, like it just, and I kept giving chances upon chances. And finally I was like, I can't do it. And as talented as the kid was, I was like, this is going to be the end all demise. Like,
well, and I don't know this kid, but in my experience, doing that could have helped the kid actually too, in my opinion, because if they're giving you, if a parent is like that to you, imagine how they are to their kid. So sometimes saying, I'm going to back off and teaching your kid so they can be a kid or is the best thing too.
Yeah, no. And then I've had a parent one time come to me and actually say, hey, she's auditioning, but she's stressed and it is affecting her when she's not getting stuff. And I think we're going to back away. And I applauded that mother for doing that. I thought that was incredible. Like, and I said, not a problem. My door is always open to you and do what you need to do.
What are some things you can tell kids that do love it and adults on how to deal with rejection and something that we love so much, and we love dance and love it and breathe and eat it, and then we don't get it?
I think you have to still find that love and just know that not everything is going to be for you. Our industry is brutal, and if something doesn't work out, it wasn't meant to be. That's the way I treat it. Like, it wasn't meant to be. If it is meant to be, it's going to work itself out. So I just, it doesn't mean you're a bad dancer. Doesn't mean you're not worthy. It just wasn't the right fit for the project. And so I think that's how people need to approach the business, to let things roll off easier, because it is easy to take it personally and go, I'm not good enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. Like,
not good looking. My body is not good. It's a very body oriented business, especially in Los Angeles. So just regarding these parents, what are some, because you said they can interview the agent as well. What are some green flags that some parents can pay attention to when they're interviewing with an agent?
I think, just again, having a common ground, like knowing, like, I don't tell anybody to uproot their life and move to Los Angeles. Our business is too unpredictable. It's all over the place. There is work all over the United States now. So they can be looking for work in their home states as well. If they find a legitimate agency. I always say go to the SAG website or the ATA website and know who's franchise agents.
Okay.
We're ATA, but and we're also equity. And then other people are sometimes SAG after instead of being ATA. But most of your legitimate agencies are going to be covered and abiding by certain standards and rules. So it'll allow you to know, like, you're comfortable. You obviously never pay to sign with an agency ever.
It's good to say that, because some that live in other states don't know that.
Right. So we don't make money unless you make money. So you don't ever pay a fee, ever. If they ask that, then you should walk right back out that door, because then they're not legitimate in what their practice is of their business. Then they're making money a different way. Like I said, I only make commission when my clients book jobs. So I think some of those things are the biggest things to be looking for. I used to tell my sister-in-law, when my niece and nephew got their agents, she would get approached because they're cute little kids. And she was like, at malls and stuff. And I was like, no, that is not legit.
Hey, you know what? It's not legit, but that headshot is from, I think it's from a mall agency when I was 5.
Really?
So, they were in the malls a lot, all those. And so they're still out there, it sounds like. Do they dance, or are they more in acting and modeling?
They're now adults. My niece is a DJ and my nephew is a musician. He's in a band and touring. So.
Okay. So they're still doing art?
Doing music and art. Yeah.
Yeah.
She danced until she was about 18, and then she stopped when she went to college. But
so,
they did more acting, TV and film stuff and print work. But they did it in their hometown in Michigan, which was great,
So thinking of those, acting and, I've seen it before, and I tell the kids that I teach sometimes, sometimes the girl in the back, you're going to end up dancing behind her when she's older, because she's going to be the star of the film, the Bree Turner or the Maria Diaz, the one that's not less necessarily the I'm throwing out some old names here, the Lori Kenyak or the, Natalie Willis, what do you have to say to those that are listening? Because, I know I would have listened to this podcast if I was a kid that's like, I'm not the best, but, I act really well and I sing and I know I can command the stage. Can they call someone like you to represent them? Do you also represent kids like that?
Yes.
That necessarily aren't the best dancer?
Yes. I mean, I really look at the individual and what they want to do. And that's part of our interview process, is understanding where you want to go, where you see yourself in the business and what your future goals are, and us making sure we're aligned and we agree with that, and that we can do the job. So, yeah, I mean, I mainly take on dancers, choreographers, and creative directors, but I work in all the areas of the business. So I do work in acting for TV and film. I work in print work. I've had clients that have done stunt work. I've had clients that do fitness work. It's really figuring out what your niche is. And it's different for each and every person, So nobody's you. And it's just, for me, looking at the client and going, okay, can I do the job? And do I see what they see for themselves? Are we in agreement to move forward?
And as you know, a lot of, kids from competitions go on to be, they're going on to be bigger stars now. You have Tate McRae, you have Maddie Ziegler, you have, just, there was others back, Carmen Electra used to compete and, like Britney Spears. Yep. And so, I just wanted to say that too, because I know sometimes there's that kid in the back who might not be the Maddie Ziegler, but knows that they can act like nobody's business and they still can go and get an agent, and there's another path for them. That's also too, everyone listening, Lisa talked about it, but when you compete, you're going to find out who you are by the stories you tell on stage while you're competing, of what resonates with you. And if you're only thinking about the turn and the kick and the aerial, you're not going to get connected to who you are. And ultimately, it's not going to help your career as a dancer. So really pay attention to those stories, because that's what someone like Lisa is looking for, and casting people now, is who you are, not just what you can do.
Right.
And I know you're not a manager, but how is, because we were talking about this earlier, of just rejection, and how is it now? It's probably very different than when I was in the 90s, early 2000s getting rejected. But if one of your clients or dancers is having a hard time mentally, like with even I would at times, and I was working a lot and it got overwhelming at times. Do you feel it's okay to communicate with your agent that as well? Like, mentally things aren't going really well right now and I need to take a break.
Yeah, I would love that. I am all about communication. I can't be with my clients everywhere, so I need to know what's going on with them on their end. And I'm going to share what's going on my end. And that's how I feel like we build a successful relationship. So, yeah, I want to know that. And I want to try to help, like I've never dropped a client because they weren't working. I've dropped a client for other reasons, but not because they weren't working. If anything, if I signed you in the first place, I saw something in you.
Have you ever dropped a client for mental health?
It depends on where they're at with that. Like if it's something that they need a break. I recently had a client that did take a break, was on touring and then decided like they needed to step away for a minute, which we totally supported. And we just said, just get back to us when you're ready to come back.
See, like, that's good to know, because if I was younger, when I was younger, I wish I would have felt comfortable to say that. And I wasn't with Lisa when I was younger. She was around working as an agent. But she wasn't my go-to, but I think it was different back then too. It felt very different so that makes me feel good that you are supportive like that. Cause then they get through it and then they thrive again. That's it's just a body. It's rather than your body. Oh, my hip hurts. You would say, okay, well then don't go if you had knee surgery.
Yeah.
But after your knee's better, then go, and then they can really thrive. So I love that.
We've had clients that have had traumatic situations where they've been in terrible car accidents and had to go through therapy and surgeries, and we're here. Like, I'm here to support them. Take the time you need, and when you're ready, we get back to it. So
you have a lot of compassion and love and openness, which is good for this business and maybe a little bit rare at times. So you were dropping names earlier. I don't know who, you said Gregory Hines. You were talking about these. So what was your training like? Cause these greats as far as dance too.
Oh, I feel like I grew up with all the best people and the best training at all the studios. I feel so fortunate that I was at a time that those existed. I know LA's trying to get back to that with some of the new studios that have been created, but I have to say, during the pandemic was a little bit devastated because I felt like we were losing all of our training that was here in LA. Like, New York still had it, but LA didn't. You could still go to BDC and you could go to Steps and Paradance and other places in New York. But I was like, yikes, in LA, we've lost Debbie Reynolds. Edge closed. I was like, we're losing all these studios. We don't have the Tremaine and Dupre's anymore. We're losing. PAC closed. It was like, gosh, like, where is the training? And then some of the studios, were focused on different things because of social media and that taking a new light of its own. So, I'm excited to see that I feel like we're getting back to that. Like, I think, ML had closed too, and then it came back, which is back, which I think is incredible. I feel like we're finally getting those training hubs again to get real educators back in the studios. I think that's really important. It's interesting because even with a choreographer, there can be a person that makes up cool steps, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a great educator. Like, I think knowing the difference of those abilities, sometimes it does cross over, but not always, So I think, being able to get in front of the right people, I think now more than ever, working choreographers are teaching on convention. So it does allow young dancers to get in front of them on a convention outside of an audition or, exploring the working force. So that is something that's different where, back when I was dancing and I was on convention, those weren't necessarily the working choreographers at that time. They were strictly educators. That was their
who would drop the names like Horton or Gregory Hines or, Twyla Tharp, but they weren't that, but they definitely would drop that. So you're saying to continue that education of where can they, I guess, who inspired you as far as training wise? Do you feel it's important for these dancers, these young kids, to know who Twyla Tharp is and Horton? And
I think it's so important to know your dance history. I can't stress it enough. I love that some of the college programs are really now like enforcing that. If dancers are going to go that college route, I obviously did not. But I think dance history is everything. I just, you need to know who paved the way before you.
And then if you walk into a room with Lisa think about it this way and you drop Gregory Hines and you're 12 years old, you're going to go, how do you know about Gregory Hines? Or you're talking about these choreographers, Judith Jameson. I've been hearing Horton a lot from younger dancers, and I love it. I'm like, where are you learning that word and that
Absolutely.
type of, so it makes me go, okay, you're understanding. And it's not just dance competitions, and that's where the kid.
My husband grew up in Chicago. His mom owned a dance studio. And then he went to Performing Arts High School in Chicago. But he grew up under, Giordano's and Hubbard Street. And he was apprenticing them when he was like a teenager, so knowing that, like not letting that, like us lose that, I think is what's really important.
Yeah. And I feel maybe, we come from the convention circuit competition. There's a lot more dance competitions now. So that there's no education. It's just trick. So on that note, Dance Moms obviously was a massive hit culturally and with dance. What was your honest feeling about the show? Did you like it?
I think people needed to see what that world looked like. What the dance world can look like, the good, bad, and the ugly, right? Mm-hmm. And how to prepare our dancers in a different way and know that that wasn't everything about just winning. Mm-hmm. That everybody has a story, everybody has a background, everybody has a family, everybody's relevant. Everybody was a great dancer that was on that show. It was cast very well. I mean, they were all exceptional dancers, and look at what they're going on to do. And I think that's what's even more impressive is looking beyond it, like beyond the show of what these dancers are doing.
When you found out that I created it, were you surprised in the beginning? Because I don't feel like I told anyone. I remember telling an agent at the time and they didn't even believe me. Like before, like I was like, hey, I just sold the show to Lifetime. And they were like, sure.
No, I mean, I thought it was incredible. And I think it was like at the right time, mm-hmm. Of in our world of reality TV, of what's happening, you know what I mean? I think timing is everything. So look, they just tried to bring Star Search back last year.
I know. Is it going to come back again?
Did it do good? I don't know yet. I don't know. Obviously we got word that So You Think is done.
But dance isn't done, everyone. Dance is not done.
Going down for a while, and it's had, like, in the last 3 years, man, a total resurgence. Like, they rebooted it in the best way possible, and it is doing better than ever. And I mean, their tour is killing it. I mean,
of which one? Oh, Dancing with the Stars. Do you feel kids need to take ballroom now? I didn't.
I didn't either. I think if it's of interest, it can't hurt.
But it's not a necessity to get a world tour or anything. Okay. Do you feel that it was Dance Moms was good for the dance community, for dancers?
I think everybody takes away different things, right? So I think for those of us that grew up in the dance world, the takeaway was good. I think for those who don't necessarily understand the dance world or didn't experience it like we did, might view it in a different way, in a negative way, right? Mm-hmm. So, but I think that's like anything, like in life. I mean, you're going to have that. I mean, we're dealing with it every day, social media and the internet, and it's a beast. I don't love it. Trust me. I'm thankful that I didn't grow up, as a kid in it. I'm not big on it for kids to be on it. I mean, again, it's a family and personal thing.
Mm-hmm. Do you encourage it for, well, how do I say this? If they sign with you, do you encourage the kid to develop that presence on?
No.
There you go. No. So that means you don't care if they have a presence either.
Mm-mm.
Okay, good. Because, it's big with these dance moms now. They love an Instagram account.
If they want to have it. But again, we're dealing with, AI as well. AI is taking down profiles too of kids because they feel like content, because of what kids wear and their costumes and things. I've had tons of parents come to me and say, oh, our profiles got taken down and we can't get them back. And they've had to consult like attorneys and to try to get profiles back. Like it's crazy. Like
that I get because of it's, I think anything that is, I understand it sometimes. I also just had Bronson on. I don't know if you know Bronson. He was in the Super Bowl. He's a 10-year-old boy who, he takes it the 6. I just had him on the podcast, and because he dances so fierce and feminine, his account will get flagged all the time. He's not doing anything that another 10-year-old girl is doing, but because it's a boy, they're flagging it, which I have an issue with because it's not sexual. Totally. It's just feminine. Totally. I understand when it's a younger kid. But that's good to know because I think the dance moms need to hear that because I think they can feel pressure in that world. My kid wants to be successful and doesn't have that many followers. But when they go to an agent like you don't care.
No, not at all. It would not be the reason why I take on anyone, child or adult. Like, has no bearing on it for me. Like, if that's your thing and that's what you do and you enjoy it and it's something you want to build upon, great, I will support you. But it is not my thing to say, well, I'm not going to work with you unless you have X, Y, and Z. I don't believe in that. That's not how people are going to book jobs. That's not why people are going to hire you.
Yeah, that's not why they're going to hire you. And if they do, be a little wary of that, in my opinion, if they're just focusing on that stuff. And I'm, like I said, I've known Lisa for a long time, since The Edge, when you were on scholarship. Were you on scholarship with Mandy Moore?
I was on before Mandy.
Okay. But it was that same era. Like I'm seeing it going up the desk, going to take, I don't know, Helene Phillips, maybe I was taking, I don't know.
Totally.
I was taking somebody, but what I love about Lisa is you can already see it and hear it, but their agency has a lot of integrity, and there's agencies out there, whether they're dance or others, that don't. And I think it takes a really passion for dance to do that and to feel safe. Find an agent that you feel safe with. That's something that I would say. And I definitely feel that about Lisa and have always loved that about you, because you've seen my journey, and it is brutal out there. It's, Lisa knows some behind the scenes stuff, of my journey, but find your people that are good, agents, teachers, producers, directors, acting teachers. This is just another aspect of it, moms and dads and kids. And I wanted you to hear an agent who has integrity. So if you go to an agent in New York, you can have something to pull from and do all that, to something to ground you that you've heard already. So tell the listeners what your dancers are doing, what they have done, gloat a little bit.
Oh gosh. My clients are doing big projects. I feel like I represent some of the top choreographers. I've had clients that have just got done with Coachella. They got done with the Super Bowl. They've, you know what I mean? They're like nonstop on tours. The music world is big. TV and film has been more difficult. in the past couple of years, just because, again, a lot of work in Los Angeles isn't happening. So then trying to figure out if they're going to hire somebody locally or they will travel someone has been difficult. But all the big award shows and tours and stuff. I mean, I do represent Paris Goebel, and I feel like she's probably one of the biggest choreographers out there right now. So.
There you go. That's all you needed to say. Pop, like they all know who that is. So and you know what? That I don't know Paris, but
she's been with me 14 years.
See, loyalty and I mean, I don't know Paris, but I mean, I kind of feel like I do if you're her agent, so there's something I like about her even more, but super talented. And do you have an agency in New York as well?
No, we're only in Los Angeles, but I do work in New York and in Atlanta and in Nashville.
Okay.
I've been working with somebody in Utah as well. Because the work started to spread out, we started to expand a little bit more, but I didn't want to have too much of an overhead for us with having other offices. But again, you mentioned earlier, like Victoria and Lori Kenyak, they have their business as manager out in New York and LA. And I work with them, we're working with clients together.
I didn't know Lori was managing.
Yeah. She's in New York.
I thought she had a kid.
Here.
It was like a school to help them, an internship. I didn't know. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Lori Kenyak,
I had
those
a
legs
Zoom
and feet.
A couple of weeks ago with a client that we're all potentially working with together with Victoria, her and Lori, which was awesome to reconnect. So
is Victoria out here still, or is she?
Yeah.
She is. Yeah, she was my first agent, and she was in Xanadu, everybody. You all know how much I love Xanadu. And again, you're talking about Lori and Victoria, these managers, agents, and you got Lisa. Listen to them of who they're talking about. Lori Kenyak worked with Twyla Tharp, even though these people aren't dancing anymore, if they know dance, they're going to really guide you well. And Victoria, she's done so much. And Lisa, you've done so much and know so much and have seen so much. So I'm just really grateful for your time, because I know that you own an agency and you run an agency, and I appreciate your time.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So we have some last few questions, which I'm excited to hear who you say. Favorite dancer?
Oh gosh, who's my favorite dancer? Michelle Johnston.
Gosh, see? If you've been listening to this, you all know who Michelle Johnston is, because I think we've talked about her before.
Insane. I mean, I remember seeing her and I was like, I want to be her.
And kind.
Yep.
And she still choreographs. I feel she does. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Michelle, if you're listening, please come on the podcast. Yep. Favorite choreographer?
Oh gosh, who's my favorite choreographer? Probably Marguerite, actually.
Ooh, that you threw me a curveball. I didn't think that. I thought you were going to say either Paris or Gregory Hines, but hey, Marguerite always hired me. What do you love about Marguerite?
The work she's done has been so diverse in all different areas of dance. I think that's what I love the most. Again,
she knows so much about dance too. Those of you who want to choreograph, it's not like these people, the knowledge of what she knows of choreographers herself is so big. Dance history. Favorite style of dance?
I was a jazz dancer, so jazz.
Jazz, yes.
It's in me through and through. So,
favorite Broadway show?
My favorite Broadway show, I actually have to say, is Hamilton.
Okay, so newer. I mean, it's not new, but it's not from the 70s or.
The work that was done in that show, even the movement and the choreography, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Just I couldn't see it enough.
I've never seen it
a million times over.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you need to see it.
I know. I need to go see it. Favorite dance movie?
Okay, favorite dance movie. Well, now I'm going to date myself because I'm going to pick something that's like old and a long time ago. But I think my favorite dance movie was Staying Alive.
Again, the audience knows I've talked about Staying Alive.
I mean, come on.
With Cynthia Rhodes.
Yep.
Another one. Another Michelle Johnston.
Like, I mean, come on. Like, that was amazing.
You know? Oh, and everyone, Michelle Johnston too was in Showgirls. She played the choreographer.
Yes, she was in Showgirls. Yes, she was.
Yes. Okay. Staying Alive was. I thought you were going to say Chorus Line because of Michelle Johnston.
Yeah. No, Staying Alive. I think I would watch a million times over. I would tape it and just watch it over and over and over and over again.
With Michael Rooney.
Again, I was like, I'm going to be in a show like that one day.
I love it. I always was hoping it was going to be on Broadway. Satan's Alley.
Yeah, exactly.
See? With Michael Rooney. Who else was in it? I think Michael Higgins was in it too.
I think Michael was in it. I think Randy Allaire was in it. Helene was in it. Oh yeah, no, they're like diehards in that.
Lucky. They were so lucky.
Kid that obviously we didn't have social media now, and that's the thing that I can't stress about it to parents is I did my homework. Once I knew I wanted to do this, I researched every movie, every TV show. I taped, everything that was on air, star searches, Dancing to the Hits, like any show that was on that I wanted to be on or be, I knew. And when I would come every summer, I'd take class and go, oh, that's so-and-so, and that's so-and-so from this, I knew who I wanted to be. And I did my homework. And dancers have the ability to Google anything. And so the fact that they don't, when I'll say to a dancer, what's your dream job? And they'll say, oh, I want to tour with Rihanna. And I'm like, okay, great. Who's Rihanna's choreographer? And they don't know. I'm like, okay, that tells me a lot.
Listen up. Yeah, people, that's good stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Who do you exactly? And what also too, why are you doing it? The why, we've talked about that on the podcast, is why do you want to dance for her? Everybody wants to dance for her, but why? What's the, and everybody wants the spotlight. What are you going to say with your dancing? Because if you get there and we're like, okay, now's your opportunity. That's Absolutely. It. That's all you're going to say. Come on. What do you have to say? Okay. If you could compete a solo at a dance competition, what would it be and what would you wear?
Oh my goodness. Well, nobody can see me really, but I'm tall and long. I have long legs and I have always been tall and long. So most likely I would probably wear some sort of unitard.
Yes.
And solo would probably be something in a jazz genre, maybe even something Fosse inspired or, I'm attracted to those things that I think send a message, but they're subtle,
Or you could do something from Satan's Alley.
Yes, exactly. She had a great unitard. She had a good red unitard.
With the wigs, they had those wigs. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I could like those.
What's one of the boldest things you've done, Lisa?
What is one of the boldest things I've done? I think my husband and I had an apartment at another agency, and then us deciding to move on and start our own. I think starting my own business was probably one of the boldest decisions that I've made. I felt like for me to encourage the clients to do what they need to do, I needed to do it for myself by leading by example. So.
And how long ago was that?
14 years ago.
And here you are talking about it and helping people and doing your own way of guiding dancers. So I'm happy you did it. Continue to be bold. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for listening to Dance Dad with John Corella. Thank you to everyone at Hivecast for all that you do. And if this episode meant something to you, please share it and subscribe. Also, you can follow Dance Dad with John Corella on all platforms. But most importantly, remember to be bold and be fierce.